Erev Shabbat Shalom Rabotai. We are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Ketubot. We're up to Perek Daled Mishnah Tet. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana, Ranbayev Eliyahu ben Burchai Israelo ben Chana bad Miriam, Menuchatam Began Eden, Amen. And Avdei ben Chaim Lachaim v'Lerefua Shenemav Daniel Shalom ben Rosa Betoch Shah Chulei Israel. The Mishnah elaborates on a man's responsibility to ransom his captured wife. Nishbet Chayav Livdotah. If she is captured, he is obligated to ransom her. And if he said, here are her get and her ketubah, meaning I am divorcing her and paying her ketubah now, let her ransom herself with the money. And Orasha, he is not allowed to do this, meaning he is unable to exempt himself in this way from having to ransom her, because the obligation remains in effect even after he divorces her. A man becomes obligated to ransom his wife as soon as she is captured. Once that obligation takes effect, he cannot free himself of it by divorcing her. Now the Mishnah contrasts the obligation to ransom one's wife with another one of the ketubah obligations. Lakta chayav lerapeotah. If she fell ill, he is obligated to heal her, meaning to pay for her medical care. A husband's obligation to support his wife includes providing her with medical care. However, if he said, here are her get and her ketubah, let her heal herself with the money, Rashai, he is allowed, meaning he is able to exempt himself in this manner, because once he divorces her, he is not obligated to pay for any subsequent medical care. A husband must pay for his wife's medical treatment each day, just as he must pay for her support each day. If he divorces her, the next day's obligation will take effect after the divorce, when she is no longer married to him. Therefore, he would not have to pay the medical expenses of that day or any day after that. The obligation of ransoming one's wife is different, because the husband becomes obligated at one time to pay the entire ransom. Once his obligation takes hold, it remains in place even after he divorces her. And although a husband can exempt himself from paying for his wife's medical expenses by divorcing her, the Rambam in Ilchot Ishut chapter 14 and 17 writes, it is certainly immoral and improper for him to do so. And that is in Abotai Mishnah Tet. Mishnah Yud continues with another obligation imposed by the sages on a husband for the benefit of his wife. Lo chatav la, even if one did not write the following clause for his wife in her ketubah document: Benin dechin yehevon lichi minai inum yotun kesaf ketubatich. When I die, the male children that you have from me will inherit the money of your ketubah. Yater al chulakehon deimachehon, in addition to their portion of the estate that they equally share with their stepbrothers from another wife. Chayav, he is nevertheless obligated to fulfill this clause, Shutanai Beddin, because it is a ketubah requirement decreed by Beddin. This decree applies in the following situation: a man had 2 or more wives, each of them bore him sons. The wives died in his lifetime, and he inherited all the property that was recorded in each wife's ketubah. The sages decreed that when he dies, the property of each wife's ketubah is inherited only by her sons and not by the sons of the other wife. Although the rest of his estate is shared by all his sons equally, the ketubah of each wife goes to her sons alone. And our Mishnah teaches that even if this stipulation is not recorded in a wife's ketubah document, it is binding. Now the commentaries go at length to explain a husband inherits his wife's possessions when she dies. These possessions include everything recorded in the ketubah, namely the items she brought into their marriage as a dowry, the standard ketubah payment, and the additional ketubah payment. He inherits these ketubah payments in the sense that he is no longer obligated to pay them to her or her sons. Then when he dies, all his possessions, including those he inherited from his wife, go to his sons. And according to Torah law, if he has sons from 2 or more wives, they share everything equally. The sages decreed, however, that the possessions recorded in the ketubah of each wife go only to her sons. So if one wife had a larger ketubah or fewer sons than another wife, her sons inherit a larger share of the estate than the sons of the other wife. And the sages enacted this law so that fathers would not be deterred from giving large dowries to their daughters. Before the decree, a father might be concerned that if his daughter were to die before her husband, and the husband also had sons from a different wife, the dowry would be inherited not only by his grandchildren, but also by the children of the other wife. The rabbinic decree made it more likely that a dowry provided by a father for his daughter would remain in the family. Now, the decree applies only where the total value of the estate is at least a dinar more than the Ketubot of both wives, so that the biblical method of dividing the estate equally among all the sons is fulfilled with at least 1 dinar. If a man's estate is worth less than that, the decree does not apply, and all his property is divided equally among his sons from both wives. That is Rabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Everybody should have Erev Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.